Hey everybody, and welcome back to Geeky Dad's Read. I'm JJ Johnson, and this is part 3 of me ranking the top 30 Star Wars Expanded Universe novels. So, if you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, I invite you to go watch those videos where I rank all the way from number 30 all the way down to number 11. And today we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite Star Wars Expanded Universe novels. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 10 for me, of course, is none other by Drew Schreiber. I never know if I pronounce his name right. And that, of course, is Maul Lockdown. I love this book. This book was so much fun. It was brutal, yes, but it is Darth Maul going into a prison. He's not allowed to use the Force. And Palpatine Sidious basically gives him a quest that he's got to complete, something that he's got to do. And it is brutal. It is fight. He's only allowed to use his raw strength. The pacing on this moves very fast. I love everything that Joe has done in the Star Wars Expanded Universe, whether it's Death Troopers, Red Harvest, or this one here. And I think he had one more, but maybe I could be wrong, but at least those 3 right there are the ones that I'm thinking of right off the top of my head. This is good. I like this. This is one of those that I fell in love with Darth Maul after reading this. So coming in at number 10 for me. And coming in at number 9, of course, is Michael Stackpole's I, Jedi. This book right here really kind of completes in a way, the character arc of Corran Horn. Here he is. We met him in Rogue Squadron. I think I can't remember, but that's where I remember him from, is Rogue Squadron most of all. And right here, we start to really get into the mind of a Jedi. And I think what Michael Stackpole does here is absolutely brilliant. I have a couple of friends. This is actually their favorite Star Wars EU novel. It's up there for me, and I love it. I enjoy what I get here. But like I said, Michael takes us into the mind of a Jedi, and I think that's absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't checked this out, read this. But I think you do need to read a few books before, probably the first 3 or the 4 books of X-Wing. Maybe Jedi Academy would be a good trilogy to read before you read this, but this is very, very good. Coming in at number 8 for me, of course, is Darth Bane, Path of Destruction. I think that when Disney did Star Wars, there were certain novels in EU they should have kept canon. Not all of them, obviously, because you do want the freedom when you're taking over a product to be able to explore things, but I think they should have put certain books as sort of canon that were sort of the foundation. Like, these are the tent poles that we're going to keep. I think I, Jedi is one of those, maybe X-Wing Squadron, Heir to the Empire, but I definitely think Path of Destruction, Darth Bane. This is part of the Old Republic and set 1,000 years before, A New Hope. This is really good. I love this story because I think it brings us shows us the beginning of the Sith. And this is before the Rule of Two and all that stuff. So this is very good. I absolutely love it. I think that what Drew is doing here is great. Some of these Old Republic novels, some of them were hits, some of them were misses, but definitely the Darth Bane trilogy for me was a huge hit. I really like this, and I really like kind of seeing the beginning stages of the Sith and everything like that. So there you go, Rule of Two, or no, this is Path of Destruction. Book 1 in the Darth Bane trilogy. Course, coming in, that was 10, 9, 8. This is number 7, and of course is Paradise Snare by A.C. Crispin, book 1 in the Han Solo trilogy. Mine is definitely beat up because I love this book so much. I really love all 3 of the Han Solo books by A.C. Crispin. I think she writes Han better than anybody else. I think she gets into the mind and does the dialogue better than anybody else. This one right here is very, very early stages of Han Solo. We get to see him, how, his life before everything, kind of blew up, before he got into piloting and being a smuggler and all that stuff. This is very, very early in Han Solo. It's definitely one of those must-reads for everybody. Check it out. This is coming in for me. Of course, coming in at number 6 for me is another Darth Maul book, and that is Shadowhunter. This one's by Michael Reeves, and this book is really, really cool because it's kind of set right before a Phantom Menace, kind of leading into a Phantom Menace. Darth Maul is on a quest, but he's almost like a serial killer. It's like he's like Michael Myers or Jason or something that you're running from, and the characters are trying to escape him this entire time. You get to see how brutal he is, and you kind of get to see how he became the Sith that he is. This is an awesome book. I love this. A lot of this story is actually not told from Maul's point of view. There is a lot of portions of it that is, but some of it is just from the characters who are trying to get away from him. So this has that serial killer type vibes to it, and I really like this book. The pacing on this story is very quick. This is not a long book at all. You can get through this probably within about 3 to 4 hours, but I highly recommend it. It's coming in at number 6 for me. All right, coming in at number 5 for me. I loved Labyrinth of Evil and Dark Lord Rise of Vader. I felt like those two were definitely in my top 20, but coming in at number 5 for me is Revenge of the Sith, the novelization by Matthew Stover. What I love about this book is when you read those 3 books together, it is an incredible experience about how Vader became Vader. It is definitely the fall of Vader or Anakin. It shows that in such a unique way. This book right here takes you into the mind of Anakin as he is struggling with the dark side and he's being pulled in that direction. You get such a richer experience than just watching the movie. I highly recommend this. This is one of the best novelizations of any of the Star Wars books out there. And that's not just me saying that. So many others have said that as well. So definitely check this one out. Coming in at number 5 for me, Revenge of the Sith. Coming in at number 4, of course, is none other than Darth Plagueis by James Luceno. Anything that James does with exploring the dark side and the Sith, I have absolutely loved. This book right here was very, very good. This is set before A Phantom Menace. This shows the rise of Sidious, the rise of Palpatine, the politics, everything that was going on, how he infiltrated. It's not just about Plagueis. It's more of an origin story, too, about Sidious. And that's what I love about this story, is you start to see the deception that begins to come out. This is a great book. I highly recommend it. It's another one of those that I think Disney probably should have taken and made like a cornerstone of the Star Wars universe. Again, you didn't have to take all of those. I think I'm going to do a video actually on the books that I think that Disney should have kept canon from the EU. I think I'm going to do that now. But definitely coming in for me, number 4, of course, Darth Plagueis. All right, number 3, this is going to be a controversial pick because a lot of people have this as number 1. They probably think I should have it number 1 as well. And that, of course, is the OG, the original Star Wars Expanded Universe novel that we all read, and that is Heir to the Empire. The introduction of Thrawn. Thrawn's one of my favorite characters. But what I love about Heir to the Empire is it gave us sort of a starting off point. If you've never read any Star Wars and you're like, JJ, I want to start reading Star Wars EU novels, or legends as the heathens like to say, I would highly recommend starting with Heir to the Empire. It's a great place to start. There are other books you can start with. Sure, certainly there are other places to jump in, but Heir to the Empire is sort of the best place to go. It was the first one after all the films have been completed that we got. And you get some great introductions to Mara. You get Luke, awesome moments with him and Lando, so many others. This is like the cornerstone. This is the one definitely Disney should have taken. If you're going to take anything, Disney should have taken this one. But definitely coming in at number 3 for me, of course, is Heir to the Empire by Timothy Zahn. All right, coming in at number 2, and of course, some people like this, some people do not like that, and that, of course, is by John Jackson Miller, and that is Kenobi. What I love about this is not only is the writing just absolutely incredible, but this is a story of a man who is just moving from being one of the main guys in the war, the general, to all of a sudden sort of transitioning his life to being somebody who's not necessarily closing himself off from the Force. He's not becoming a hermit on purpose. His entire existence is moving from being the general to being the guy that now quietly watches over young Luke. And I think that is humbling. That is an experience. A lot of people, we look at Luke in The Force Awakens and we're like, okay, and, The Last Jedi, and we're like, that's not Luke. And a lot of people were like, well, Han did it, or Kenobi did it. No, Kenobi had a purpose. He had a reason for withdrawing. Everything was coming towards protecting Luke, watching over Luke. It was all about Luke. And that's what I love about this. Most of this book is not told from the point of view of Kenobi. It is told from people who are in the surrounding areas. This is like that quiet space western on the dusty plains. This is a great story. It is a heartbreaking story, at least in my opinion. Some people just don't like it because it doesn't have the big spaceship Star Wars feel. This is excellent. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's definitely in my top 2. And of course, coming in at number 1, my favorite Star Wars EU novel, X-Wing Rogue Squadron. I love this. This is it's Top Gun space, sure. But you get so many cool character moments with this. You get to see Wedge in ways that we never saw him. You get the introduction of Corrin. You get so many cool things right here. And this isn't just about X-Wing guys fighting space battles. This is about friendships being formed and friendships being ended because of death. This squadron right here is what makes heroes within the Star Wars universe matter. If Heir of the Empire is the cornerstone, X-Wing Squadron, in my opinion, should definitely be canon. This is one of those books that I absolutely fell in love. I've read this probably a total of 4 to 5 times. That's how many times I keep coming back to it because I love the characters, I love the interaction, and I love the sacrifice and the hope that they build. This is a great story, and I cannot recommend it enough for all people to just check it out. If you never read Star Wars, I always say this is also a great place to start, and I highly recommend it as being reading order before you get to New Jedi Order or even I, Jedi. I think that this is one of the best Star Wars novels I've read. A lot of people don't like it, and that's fine. I'm going to die on that hill. For me, X-Wing Rogue Squadron is the number 1 Star Wars book that I've read. So there you have it. 3 videos, all top 30 Star Wars novels for me. Again, this is my opinion. It may not be yours. I would like to know what your favorite Star Wars novels are in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, if you enjoyed these series, please go share it with your community. I'd love to have more people hop on here and just geek out over science fiction and fantasy and Star Wars with me. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Later.